Passive solar greenhouses just might be the key to food security in the northern climates of Canada and Pakistan alike. Unlike conventional greenhouses, which are very expensive to operate in northern climates, passive solar greenhouses get all of their heat from the sun. To learn more, I joined Sadru Nazarali and his group, Egertonians and Friends, on a tour of the passive solar greenhouses at Freshpell Farms near Olds, Alberta.
So about 5 years ago, I was reading a lot of articles about Mr. Dong in Olds, Alberta, growing winter vegetables without external heat in a passive solar greenhouse.
In the northern latitudes of Alberta, the cost of heating greenhouses with fossil fuels is quite prohibitive. The answer, says Sadru Nazarali, is passive solar greenhouses, which he first saw at Freshpell Farms in Olds, Alberta.
So here, the energy requirement is either zero or very, very little. So instead of one layer of plastic, there is two frames 3 feet apart. So there are two layers of plastic. The second feature is between the plastic, there's a roll-out black blanket made of special material, as if it's 6 blankets. When it's very cold at night or in a cold week, it rolls out. So the heat is retained.
These passive solar greenhouses remind me of earthships with a thick insulating thermal mass of clay on the north wall.
The third feature is the back wall. Because it has to fall the south wall, the sun is coming in. The back wall is called a thermal wall, which is made of mud or brick to retain the heat during the day heating. So at night, when the blanket is on, the wall transfers the heat back to the greenhouse.
On a previous trip, Nazarali visited the greenhouse in winter.
I was amazed because when I went there, it was minus 27 blizzard. Snow on the ground. And I was expecting 1,000 square foot, 2,000 square foot greenhouse. He had 15 greenhouses, 10 seasonal, but 5 were passive solar greenhouse, each size of half soccer field. Couldn't believe it. It was warm inside. There was no heating coming in. The sunrise was coming.
At Freshpell Farms, we saw 5 of these passive solar greenhouses, each the size of half a soccer field, that greatly extend the growing season. Nazarali is an Ismaili Canadian from Edmonton. He was one of the first non-whites to study at the prestigious Egerton Agricultural College in Kenya. This thanks to a scholarship from the Agacon Foundation in 1965. He's now working with a group he calls Egertonians and Friends to bring passive solar greenhouses to Canada and Pakistan.
So we are bringing 6 in Canada and 4 in Pakistan. These are trial models of 600 square feet, where we are going to try to teach them agronomy, value-added crops, and how can they be self-sustaining for their own vegetable growing.
Northern Pakistan has a very similar climate to Alberta, and Nazarali and Friends want to promote food security and local food there and here.
From the pilot project, we hope to bring this project to the general Canadian community at large, to start a movement to become self-sufficient in vegetable, thereby saving money, being healthy, longer life, and global mitigation for global warming, and basically an economy where you are growing your own food, and maybe form a cooperative when there are more of them to sell this at a reasonable price to the public at large.
I've learned that this multi-layered approach is a very Ismaili way of doing community development. It's not enough to just bring the passive solar greenhouses to Canada and Pakistan. There's an education component as well.
So we went to Olds Agriculture College in Alberta, Canada, which is one of the oldest and good reputation. They designed a special 6-month course. We have 45 students who just completed that 6-month course under the Canadian greenhouse lecturer Dawn. And there are 25 students from Pakistan, 10 students from India, 10 students from Afghanistan, and 10 students from Canada, majority from Alberta, who finished this course.
Dawn Bouchard was the instructor, and she operated Shirley's greenhouses near Didsbury, Alberta. That same day, she took us on a tour of her former greenhouse operation. It's a 36,000 square foot conventional greenhouse heated by natural gas.
Part of the reason I didn't make it in the industry is because it was too small for the industry. So as you know, right, you're a farmer, you either have to get bigger, or what I did here was I direct marketed. And then I got a divorce, and the carbon tax and inflation and all the things made it so that I had to sell.
Dawn was a second-generation greenhouse owner, but even with direct marketing, it was a tough go. And the $10,000 gas bill for heating is a killer. Bouchard is a passive solar convert now.
I'll be honest with you, if I were to ever build a farm again, I would do exactly like he's done here, as opposed to what I had.
Climate change, high energy prices, and competition make the greenhouse business tough. But slashing energy use and building a better greenhouse just might be the secret to food security and healthy local food in northern climates. Sadru Nazarali and the Egertonians and Friends think so. We have done some very popular stories on niche passive solar greenhouses in the past, but it looks like this idea could make inroads into commercial food production, something many countries would benefit from. Check out our previous story on a passive solar greenhouse and subscribe to Green Energy Futures video and audio podcasts for more stories on building a sustainable future. For Green Energy Futures, I'm David Dodge.